Well, it's the dead of winter. It's been really cold. It's been a struggle to keep the water uh, flowing for the animals, but we're getting there. I moving snow all the time. It's that time of year where I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking, and I'm thinking. So it's time we get out the potting mix. So why start so early? I've got my chart that I follow every year, and I'll show you the chart in just a moment. But to start off with, get my glasses here. I live in zone 4, I believe it's 4B in the United States. And based off of the last frost date of May 20th, I should be starting February 25th planting broccoli, cabbage, and parsley. After that, a few weeks later, in March 15th, cauliflower, celery, onions, and March 25th, cucumber, Swiss chard, and turnip, and it goes on. Let me show you this chart up close. I want you to take a look at this, take a screenshot, pause the video, take a picture. This covers most stuff. Gives you an idea of when to sow the seeds indoors, when you can sow them outdoors, when you should transplant. It's just a brief list. It covers just the basics of basics. You can go online and find more specific things, but that's what I go off of. Well, I'm here back out in my workshop where I keep all my growing supplies. And just as a side note, this is the place where I shot the video for catching mice, that video has been a huge success. Check it out if you haven't already. But just for an update, it's been, it's been since last June, and it's towards the end of February right now. And in that time frame, I have caught 8 mice in here. But keep in mind, that's without me taking the time to plug up the couple of holes under the garage door seal, a couple spots where they can come in. Just haven't had time to do that yet, but I will, and I should, and really can't complain. But 8 mice in that time frame is unbelievable. So check out that video if you want to figure out how to have success like I've had. I used to see 8 mice a day, much less the number of mice that used to be in here. So anyway, let me get the things for making plants grow. To start with, I got my homemade grow light set up. Just an old bathroom fixture with some grow light bulbs in them. Underneath that goes, I have some heating mats. These things work wonderful for getting seeds to sprout. Next thing I have are obviously the growing containers. I got a variety of different kinds, and they all fit underneath this area here. I can get quite a bit of plants in here when you look at how many slots there are to fill in one of these things. Here's a few more. I have my water bottle, which if you look at my video right there, or is it right there, wherever, I briefly touched on how to make your own squirt water bottle out of a regular soda bottle. Just drill a bunch of holes in the top. It helps you control the watering in each individual cell. This thing is works amazingly well. I also do have a couple of varieties of these containers. Some of these have bigger cells. Depends on the plants you're growing and how many you want to grow. But these things work great. So other than the potting mix, we're off to a good start. Well, as I work on carrying all this stuff into the basement of my house, I just wanted to mention I was at my local Walmart just the other day, and it's the place I can't stand to be. But sometimes I'm forced to go in there because it's the closest place I have to get stuff. But I did notice that they have their seeds for sale now for flowers and garden produce, and all this kind of stuff is for sale. And I did notice the one thing that was missing was heirloom seeds. And those are the seeds that you can take the seeds from what you grow, save them, and grow them the next year if you want. That's what I've been trying to do, is grow the heirloom varieties, so it reduces my having to go to the store to get seeds when I need them. I just keep them and and usually you can get plenty of seeds from what you grow. I just had to set that stuff down. But anyway, with the heirloom seeds, you can save those seeds. That's a good thing to learn how to do, I think. It's a good skill to have. You never have to rely on the grocery store or any place, as far as that matter goes, to get seeds for the next year. I even save seeds and grow them 2, 3, 4 years out. They don't last particularly well if you save them for too many years, but they do for the most part grow. Probably get 60 to 80% germination rate off of the ones that I save for 2, 3, 4 years out. So why do I have so much potting mix sitting around? Well, the short answer is I'm going to open up my greenhouse someday in the near future, and I need this to help fill my planting beds. So tip of the day is where to get this stuff at a steep discount. I got this at Walmart. I went there this last fall, just before winter sets in, and they're trying to clean out their supplies or their inventory to make space. This stuff was, I believe, $3 a bag, and it's normally about $12 a bag. So the fall time of year is the time to think ahead and get yourself some potting mix. Great savings. And there is said greenhouse. The outside is just about done, and I'm focusing now on just getting the inside squared away. I got to put some insulation in. Quite a bit of piddly work to do on the inside to get it going, but it's come along great. Can't wait to get it going. So this is my seed starting station that I have set up in my basement. It's just a simple, like I showed you before, this old lamp fixture, light fixture I had from a bathroom remodel years ago. Salvaged this. Light bulbs, between 1 and 4 bulbs at a time. If you don't need the 4, like I don't need them now, I just have 2 in place. And they are actually, they're specific bulbs made for growing lights. And so you can find them on Amazon. All this stuff I'm showing you, you can find in the links below through Amazon. Get them shipped directly to your house. If you live in the middle of nowhere like myself, it's kind of nice sometimes not having to run to town all the time. Having them ship it to you is kind of slick. One of the things I have, the seed starting bins. I have this kind here. And what I'm going to do this year is I'm going to mark each section of 12 as one section. I'm going to take a piece of tape maybe and write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Each section will be like one section broccoli, one section onions, and so on. I'm not going to grow this many items of plants of broccoli this time, so it's going to be a mixture of plants in this one tray. And this fits perfectly on this heating mat I have here. It's a BN Link heat mat. It's 10-inch by 20.75-inch mat. It keeps these things heated up at a specific temperature, which I believe is 85 degrees or so. And it really helps the germination process with the seeds. It's a big advantage. If you've never tried them before, again, link in the description. Pick up some for yourself. And I have this design so I can set 4 mats out. And so I can obviously have 4 separate trays on top of them. And if you look at all the cells in there, that adds up to a lot of plants in a little area. Sometimes I'm growing something that's got needs for a little bit bigger space to grow the root system in it. So I have a 6 cell container, and I have 4 of them per one heating mat. And I do have a bunch of these. So, but for right now, what I'm going to start off with the broccoli and so on, this will be plenty for what I need. Let me bring in closer to get a closer look at what I'm planting. So here's a closer look at one of those heating mats. It's in the bulb there itself. It's a great setup. Things do sprout up a lot quicker if it's got a little heat source underneath them. I've tried it with and without. There's a big difference in how fast they grow and how well they grow. So over here, like I was saying, I'm going to put numbers on the side of each section as to what's in it. So in my notepad here, I'm going to document what's in section 1, the type of plant. And then if you look down here, for instance, on this onion package right here, I'm going to write what kind of onion it is, that it's an heirloom. And I need to know if it's an heirloom or not if I plan on harvesting the seeds to save the seeds. And then on the back, I need to jot down the information as far as how long, the dates to maturity, and how tall it gets, the planting depth and thin to, and so on. So when I go to transplant these out in the garden, I know how much space is required for each plant. So I jot all the information down here, and some people try to go without doing that, but it's almost guaranteed you're not going to remember every single specification, when to harvest and all that. Having this little journal helps make it a lot easier. And like I showed you before, the water bottle with a bunch of holes drilled in the top works great because you can specify exactly which plants need the water. Really easy with this thing. When the leaves come out on the plants, it gets really bushy in there. Sometimes it's hard to hit the target with the water. And with this thing, you can sneak right down to the base and water your plants. And so some of the things I'm going to plant, you saw the white Lisbon bunching onions. I'm going to do a different kind of the onions there. Going to do the broccoli. These aren't going to be till March 15th. I am going to do broccoli right off the bat because that's the 25th of February for me. I'm not going to do parsley. I am going to do cabbage. I just don't have the seeds out yet. I have them in storage. And then I'm also going to start some of my flowers right now too. So these are the things that bring in the bees and the pollinators to the garden. And some of these actually do well at keeping away certain pests as well. So I'm going to get these started, get them growing, so when planting time comes, they're ready to go for the garden. So this video primarily is just getting things set up and ready to go. I'm still 3-4 days away from actually sticking the seeds in the soil, and I trust you don't need to see how that works. You can figure that out on your own, I'm sure. But please like and subscribe. Share any comments you have about this video. If you have any better ideas or something you've seen and think would work much better, I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for watching. See you later.